Hey, hey, I'm back with you again. It says live video, and I am here with you guys. Thank you for joining me again today. And I do believe, I think you are going to love what we are going to do. Okay? Hang on, let me get this started so I can see all of your comments and get the volume down so I don't have to listen to me. And get you squared away so I can see all your comments. And you're going to want to comment because some lucky winner is going to win a set of dies that I used to make the house and fence pop-up. Yay! Hi, Kelly. Everybody's so excited about this. I love you guys. You're so much fun. All right. Oh, here they come. Woo! Hello. Hello. Hi, guys. Okay. So I am going to do my take on the Tanya's Take Kit. So every month I do a Tanya's Take kit. Okay. And the kit features some die out of the Karen Burniston die collection. Okay. This month I chose by popular demand. Okay. If you guys have a suggestion of a die you want me to use, please put it down. Put it down. Okay. So this is the die that was selected. Let me get that out there. Okay. We are going to use the house and fence pop-up. So I do a kit. And it has all of the pieces and papers and everything you need to make the kit card that's on the cover of the packaging. All right. Then during this event, I will show you how to put that together with your kit, but then I give you my take on the card. I can't wait to show you guys my take. My take. All right. I'm kind of proud of this one. I'm loving it. So I'm going to turn it around and show you the actual card that is on the cover. Okay, you ready? Look at how pretty that is. I love this card. I just love it. I love gingerbread. I think it's the gingerbread. I'm not sure. Okay. But I love this. All right, so look at this. It even opens. Yeah, this little gate opens. Okay. So this is the card that you're going to make that's in your kit. Okay. This is the one that I am going to show you can also make with the same dies. You ready? Look at this. It's fall, right? It's fall. So let's go jump in the leaves. Yay. I noticed the squirrels are beginning to gather nuts for winter. A couple of my friends are missing. Are you okay? Now you know, this is a Riley stamp. And for those of you that do not know, Karen and I are business partners in KB Riley. And some of you may know that I also own Riley and Company. And I have gotten a ton of requests for me to combine the two companies. So I thought I would show you. Now, Karen has also been extremely busy making stamps for KB Riley as well. So there's also some fall stamps that if you don't want to use a funny bone or you don't have it, you can use the KB Riley stamps. All right. So we are going to make this card. It looks difficult. I promise you it is not. And somebody, okay, is going to win the card that I make today. Right? Somebody is going to win this card. Now, if the papers look familiar and you just saw me at 9:15, it's because they are. I'm using the same harvest papers, okay? So let's get started. I'm going to keep mine open, okay? It takes an insane amount of leaves for this one, all right? An insane amount. And that's okay. We just pulled some colors that we loved, and Dolores pre-cut them for me. Look at this. Ta-da, ta-da. Look at this. We have them all here. All lined up. My little cupcake liners. Yes. Different greens, different yellows. I have tons of them. And then if you make too many, then you always have them for next time, right? So the first thing that I'm going to do, and the first thing that you'll do, yours is a bit smaller than mine, okay? Because I wanted to make it wider. So you only need to have the width. Your only thing is that you need to have your width as wide as the platform. All right, so a normal 4 1/4 or a 4-inch card will work just fine. Then you can adjust it lengthwise depending on what you have. All right, I adjusted mine both ways and went with a 6x6. Okay, so all I did was fold that in half, and I'm going to be super easy and just take 2 ivory pieces, and I'm just going to glue them down just like this. All right, it is fall, and I am going to take a little bit of vintage photo and just run it along the edges so it's not quite so stark and crisp. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Now I will give you guys a little hint. Karina, all right, can you imagine a pop-up card with Riley's Fun Stamps? I just showed you one. See, that's what we're working on. All right, I'm gonna, Karina is on vacation, my normal sidekick. And so I have the famous Karen Burniston popping up with links for you guys today. So Karen is with us as well. I don't have her on video, but she's here, everybody. So, hello, Karen. So what we're going to do, I just put some zip dry just on the edge. And for those of you guys that do not know what zip dry is, it is the best card making glue ever for big pieces. Look at that. All right. So I have this piece. I want it exactly in the middle, and zip dry lets me, oh, I need to put some ink on this one too. Thought I did. Yeah, I did. All right. So zip dry lets me put the glue around the outside edge, just like this. And when you lay it down, if I used double-sided tape or something and it fell like this, right? I would have to tear that all back up, and I would be ruining one of these two pieces. Now, watch this. Zip dry lets me move it around while it's still wet so that I get perfect borders. I love this glue so much. So much. All right, that's the great glue for big, huge pieces. Now, of course, all right, I also use our fine tip bottle and our line co glue. Okay, so these are the two glues that sit on my desk at all times. It's the only two glues I use, and you can get them both at KarenBurniston.com. Karen just put up a link, actually, to the zip dry. Okay, so now we are going to do the platform. It's super easy. Just don't lose the white cap. Yeah, do not lose the white cap. That would be horribly bad. Okay, hold on. Okay, now we are going to do the inside, so I kind of try to keep my pieces. I have two little piles, okay, that I put in bags. One's for the outside, one's for the inside. So let's go ahead and tackle the inside. Now, I'm going to show you something a little different on this one that I did. Now, your normal platform is going to look like this, okay? When you die cut it, all right, there's two little slots here, which is where the little feet go, all right? On this one, I needed to move my tree over, all right? I needed to move it over because if I had it in that regular slot, it would hang over my edge, and I didn't want to make a card that's any bigger than that. So I needed a slot right here. All right, for this slot, I just used an X-Acto knife and cut a hole. It's much easier if you take the little die, if you have them, okay, from the display helpers, and we're going to use these later. You guys are going to love them. Anyway, you can use the little slots, all right, to create an additional slot where you want it. Right? You just go over one edge, not both. Just go over one edge, and then we're just going to put leaves on top of this. So that's how I did that. So what you do with this platform is you're going to fold up the lines. Karen has meticulously scored the lines, put the score lines in the dies for you. We're just going to fold these over. Okay. And it works really well if you fold them both ways first. And then your card moves so much better if you work the folds both ways. Are all the dies used to make both cards in one place on the website, and are they on sale? No, they are not on sale, and they are. So I'm going to show you the dies. I'll stop and I'll show you. So the dies that we're using, my little white cap fell on the floor. Don't lose the little white cap. The dies that we're using, if you don't have the kits, okay, are 1015, the House and Fence pop-up. Love it. Okay. I'm also using the tree pop-up. All right, that's 1005. You guys are getting a treat because these are some of our very first dies that we ever brought out. All right. I'm using the Halloween borders for these little pumpkins. Okay. One of my favorite sets ever, like one of my favorite sets ever is this. I use them all the time. Can you tell? Like, I use them all the time. We're also using the little woodland animals for the squirrel. Okay. And for the little oval, which we will use, I am using rectangles and labels. Okay. That's what we're using. And now I will go back to where I was. Now I'm just folding this over, okay? So this first line, if you can see the lines on here, it's really easy if you just take, this is very heavy cardstock, so you can just go ahead and do that one, come back and do this one, and fold it over, okay? Then we're going to move this one both ways. We're going to move this one both ways, and we're going to move this one both ways. All right, I'm going to take this and I'm going to collapse this back like it should be. When the card opens, it will open like this. I'm just going to collapse it back, and there are, you can kind of see if you've folded them straight or not by doing that, but these three pieces right here are going to have glue. Now normally I would use glue, okay, but for this specific one I'm going to use double stick tape because it's stronger immediately. And so all I'm going to do is take my tape and I'm going to put some right here on this edge, and it tears. I love that. And this edge, and it tears, okay? And then I'm going to put that here as well. All right, pretty easy so far, right? You're going to put tape on all of the outside folds. So this was an outside fold, this is an outside fold, this is an outside fold, this is an outside fold. So we're going to put some on that as well. Okay. Now, all right, I'm going to put a little bit more on that when we get to it. So what you're going to do is you're going to line this up with the fold in your card. We're going to collapse that back, and you're going to line it up with that fold. Okay, just lift it up and butt it right up against there, and then we're just going to remove the tape. I'm holding it in place. All right, double check. And all you're going to do is fold it. Squish. And, alrighty, there we have it. See how that's attached already? Okay, so it's going to fall back when you open it up. So we're just going to fold this whole thing in. Not just one edge, we're going to fold it all in. All right, we're going to peel this off, but I am going to get just a little bit more because I don't want this edge pulling up on me. If I can find it. There, right here. Okay. Yep. And we trusted that that the dog would not bark, and of course he is. So all of your dogs, you know, are going to hear Tucker barking and probably start to bark as well. All right. So I put a little bit here. All right, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did last time. I'm just going to close my card. Okay? And there we have it. Okay? There we have it. All right. Now, haha, you know what? I just realized something, but I will tell you guys later when it happens. But now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start decorating my inside part. So I'm going to set this aside. Okay? The platform is super easy. And if you want to see that again, and trust me, I have to do this. Karen makes the most amazing videos ever on the planet. She really is. Hers are completely different than mine. Hers are nice and controlled and laid out and beautifully narrated, and mine are just like, wah! So, all right, so what we're going to do, we'll set that aside. I want to do my trees first. And it looks like it's going to be a lot of work, but it's really not. And I promise you that. I promise I would never do that to you. So let's go ahead and start the trees. I'm going to set everything aside that we're going to need for later. I'll let it. And I'm going to work on my tree. So in the tree set, you have the leaf set, all right? So that helps it have a base to begin working with. So you can just add leaves to it, all right? You can also do that on the tree if you want. If you want a bare, you know, if you want a bare tree, you can do that and you can start from there. But I wanted to start with really pretty orange leaves and really pretty golden yellow leaves. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my glue bottle and I am just randomly going to do little dots everywhere. Just like that. And then I'm just going to lay this piece on top, making sure I get one over here on this edge and one over here on this edge. And you'll see that there's going to be some that don't line up. That's okay. That's all right. And it dries clear, and we're going to cover them up anyway. So there's the one. We're going to do this one too. Alrighty. And we're going to go that edge and this edge. Okay. And then we have a little canvas to start with. All right. If any of them are behind that didn't get glued down, let's go ahead and put a little glue on them. And the noisy dog gets removed from the audience. Sue came up and got the dog. Out he goes. Okay, so now we have our two trees. So let's just start with this tree. And you guys are going to crack up at how I do this. But like I said, we have done several different colors of leaves. And it was random. I just picked colors from this paper that I already had. Right? So if some of you are watching and you have the paper pad from the previous video, you've got what you need to make the papers on this one. Okay, we got that. And then we have some red ones. We'll just randomly put those down here. And I have yellow. And I have green. And I don't know what these are, but we're going to throw them there anyway, just in case we need them. So this is going to go very quickly. Is the grass from the curved edges? No, the grass is from nature's edges. Okay. All right. And I am just going to start doing random dots. kind of trying to cover everything, right? And then I'm going to use some kind of pickup tool, and I am just going to grab leaves, just being mindful that if they're hanging down here, you probably want them facing down a little bit. And I try to do them by color. So I'll put one here and one there and one there and there. And let's see, put some more. Let's see, we need another green one right here. Okay. And now I have light green and dark green. If they're along the outside edges, I try to make sure that the stem is pointing in and the leaf is pointing out. Not all the same direction, of course. And inside, let's see, I think we shall put one there. Okay, then I'm going to move along, and I'm going to use my yellow. And I'm just, whoops, that's backwards. On the yellow ones, Dolores kindly edged them with vintage photo for me. Now, when I put these on, the first layer, I'm just going to do pretty random. There's that one. And I'm just finding my dots that I put glue on, okay? That's all I'm doing. And there's no right or wrong order at all. So now I'm kind of out of glue dots, right? So what I'm going to do, it is actually really relaxing to do these trees. It sounds weird, but it really is. If somebody else cuts them for you. Thanks, Dolores. Okay, so I'm gonna go back, and now I'm gonna add more glue, same way, randomly, okay? Some on top of the leaves I've already done, some not, just random glue. And I'm gonna start coming in with other colors and laying them on top. Let's see, this is pattern paper that I used. So all different colors of patterns, and there's really no right or wrong. Okay. Now, I used one kind of glitter paper because, you know, trees kind of sparkle. My trees sparkle. Ready? And then you're going to start seeing where you want other colors. So like this one needs a little bit of a dark color right there. And I do believe, let's take darker color right here. And I'm going to do one more round, okay? So I'm going to fill in my holes. So I've got one right here that I want to fill in here, and probably here, and probably there, and there. Yep. So I'm going to take a glitter one and put it there. And I'm going to take a dark green one and put here. And this is where it gets down to the fine little details, right? So you just cover that up. Cover that up. And don't worry if you miss some. It's okay because the glue dries clear. See how I did that? Whoops. And that is done. That's how easy this one is. So we have one done already, right? Let's go on and do the second one. The leaf dies are in this set. Okay, and you actually get 6 of them in one little die, so it helps when you go to cut them out. Paper would be easier, but if the cardstock was lightweight, it would go through. Okay, now, where's my other tree base? So there it is. All right, so we're just going to do the exact same thing, right? Okay, turn these over. And I'm just going to do dots. Dot, 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 All right, that's easy. So this one's a yellow, so I think I'll start with these little reddy colors, the reds. This is kind of like a puzzle that doesn't have to fit together. Kind of my favorite kind of puzzle. Ooh, that's a color. That's a cool color, huh? That's the back side of one of them. Okay. Oh, this one's gonna hang down off the edge. Yeah. I'll put another one right here. And there. And let's see. Nope. And see how these two are facing the same way? I don't want to do that. So we're just going to move them around a little bit. And then let's just start adding in some green. And some yellow. Now Karen does videos for every single pop-up die we have. Okay, every one of them. How do you get the glue from one bottle to the other? Okay, so the glue comes in PVC and this is just a screw off top. See? So you just literally take it from its normal bottle. Okay, flip the top and it goes right in. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, that on all of Karen's pop-up dies, she does wonderful videos. Wonderful videos. And they are on the product page. Okay, so you can watch this one again, and hopefully I will remember to put it on our website. I'm very bad at that. I don't know why. Oops. Look, that picked it up. You must want to go there, right? And I'll try to remember to put this on the website. But if you want to know how to do the trees and the inner workings, you just go to the website and find the product. And she has amazing videos out there. Ready? Let's see. I think I need some orange ones. Kind of out of orange. Okay. There. It is easy. I promise. It is easy. So, okay. Now I just have a few, and see, the really great thing is about putting that piece on first is that it looks like it's filled in, doesn't it? But it's really not yet. But that gold piece on the front makes it look like it is. So you can go as much as you want on this. So I'm just going to keep adding glue until I like it and fill in my holes. Okay. Let's see. See that one here. There. We need some more glitter. Ready? And let's see. I'm gonna put a green one right here. And maybe a red one right there, and I'll get rid of that. And let's see. I think it's pretty much getting there, guys, don't you think? Pretty much thinking it is. Just a couple more. We're gonna make a glitter one right there. And a glitter one right there. And a yellow one right there. Okay. You're definitely lost and do not have this die in the kit you received. No, Sherry. This is my take. You guys should not be okay. Let me stop so we can get this straightened out so nobody's confused. The card that you are making in your kits is this card. Okay? So when we come to this class, this is called Tanya's take. On this piece of it, I do my take on that pop-up die. So the pop-up die you should have received will be this one. And I've shown you how to attach it to the platform, okay? Then we're going to make the house. I just need to make these two pieces before we go to the house, and then I will show you how to put your house and everything on the platform. So my two trees are done. All right. Oops. That's why we call it Tanya's take. In the kit, there's instructions and everything on how to do it. So you guys can do that yourself. Or you can also watch the video for the platform because it's super simple. But now, so you guys have one house, okay? On this card, you will have your gingerbread house, which is this little guy. All right, but yours will be in brown, okay? You have gingerbread pieces, and I have regular pieces because I'm doing my take. All right, now this die is really cool. Can you see the raised parts on that? You can emboss with this die, and it also has a stencil feature that you can ink through, which is lovely. In this case, I am going to enlarge my house, okay? And I'm going to make it kind of a farmhouse. Do I give out info on the dies you're using on Tanya's take before the day of the live? No, then it wouldn't be a surprise. And I try to use the dies that I mentioned earlier. And we'll go back through them. Okay, tree pop-up is one of them that I'm using. The woodland animals, I try to keep it within the dies that are on the front of the packaging. Okay? Alrighty, so now on this, all I'm going to do is, this is a chalk ink, a fresco chalk ink. You guys can use whatever ink you want, and I'm just going to brush over it. Isn't that fun? And look what it gives me. It gives me all the slats and everything for the farmhouse. Yay! Okay, now I'm going to do it again on that one, but I don't need to worry about this. I can, if you guys want to see it. Cool, huh? But I'm going to double my house. I'm going to make a two-wing house. So, all I'm going to do is I'm going to come along this edge right here, and I'm going to very carefully try to cut a straight line and up. Right? Then I'm just going to take a little bit of glue and put it right in there. You can make it closer if you want. You can do, if you want to make an add-on, you can do wherever you choose. But I am get other. All right, I did not keep this in the little holder, so it's going to be fussy. Here's a big tip, something Karen taught me a long time ago. This is just a yogurt jar, and this in the bottom is just a very dirty paper towel. Jeez. So when you're not using it, put a little teeny tiny bit of water, just enough to get it moist. All right. And then when you're not using your glue bottle, stick it upside down, and it will help your tip not dry, which is very important because that little tiny tip dries quite fast. Okay. And look, I've made an add-on for my house. That's it. I just, added 600 square feet to my house. Just like that. Ta-da! Okay. I'm going to go through all my other pieces, and there are a lot of them. All right, I have a door frame in this kit, or in this die. It's quite lovely. All of these pieces come from this little die. So see, you've got a fence. All right, with the house and fence pop-up, you have your fence. In your house base, you have your windows and your shutters. You have your door and you have your frames for the roof, and you have a path, and you have your window backs. So you guys are at this point going to find your top roof, and we're going to put it on there, and that should have been cut out of gingerbread colors, or it could be white if you wanted to make it frosting. So we're just going to add that to the top. Okay, and then I'm going to add this one here, and I'm going to add that one there. Yay! Or you could actually do it this way too, if you don't want to get it on your hands. So I'm going to put this down. Now, on the ones you guys are doing, you got a white pen with your kit, one of my favorite white pens. It's the medium gel pen that's white. All right. And you're just going to create designs on there to emulate gingerbread icing. Okay? Super easy. These little lines on your shutters are in the die set. Why did I switch from zip dried to what I'm using? Okay, that is a really good question. Okay, zip dry is a rubber cement type of dry. It's very wet and it moves around and it lets you move, right? That's one of the best selling points, is that you have time to fix mess ups and to get things so nice and square. On some pieces, you don't want to have a lot of move time, and it's a very teeny tiny space. This is like rubber cement, so getting in tiny spaces is not its thing. This glue, on the other hand, dries very quickly, extremely quickly, and the tip that comes on our fine line bottle lets you get in those little teeny tiny spaces like this house, like this door trim, okay? And we're just going to put that right there. And the great thing about this fine tip glue and the line coat glue and the fine tip bottles, if it comes out, if it squirts out, it's okay, because you just touch it and it comes right off. All right, so I decided I wanted a blue door on this one. Okay. And when you cut out your pieces, this door will cut out with it. So I also have a white door, but you just want to do a blue door. But now I have an extra blue house frame, right? And I have my little shutters that we're going to put on. Now you can either put, here is the window color that's put behind there, so it looks like the lights are on, right? So you can either put that on first and then glue everything down, but what I like to do, you can do that if you want, these little shutters, I like to bend them just a little bit before I put them on. Okay. I'm going to put these just this way. And then I'm going to sit that right on there. All right, and I'm going to do the same here. I tried, I thought, you know, I wonder if I could put like black lines around the edges and stuff. And I tried it and I didn't like it. Alright. And then one more. Open that up. Open that. Okay. Just like that. And now we have a house with shutters. I'm looking very suburban, don't you think? I thought so. Now I'm just going to turn it over on the back and come back and just go across those. And turn those upside down. Cover my back. And cover the back. And cover the back. And just like that, without huge amounts of money, we have installed electricity in this house. Pretty cool, huh? Are there any more of these kits? Yeah, no. Sorry. Sorry. You gotta be quick on those. And I think that we're gonna start making a few more. And actually, we made extras of this one and it still sold out, so. All right. I do believe there is a little wreath that we're gonna put on this door. Doink. And I need to grab my little handy dandy tool for that one. All right, I think our house is ready. Yeah, okay. So on our platform that we have here, this house is just going to sit on there like that. That's all there is to it. That's what makes it pop up. But first, on my card, before I do that, not on your card, but on my card, I am going to put a tree back behind here, okay? And my other tree is going to be right there. All right, so all I'm gonna do is glue up this back. Alrighty, I'm gonna set it right on that platform. Make sure that none of my leaves go over the edge. We're gonna glue that right on, okay? And then I'm gonna glue my house on. Just like that. Ta-da! Awesome, huh? Now you could actually use, I didn't think about this, but look guys, you could actually like make a whole entire different wing back here. Oh, all right. Squirrel. Wendy, did you catch that? Okay. And I have double stick tape on my finger. Alrighty, so we have that. Now, let's go ahead and, what are we going to do first? So I need to put, what I did, remember I showed you that we used that cut from the display helpers and made us an extra little mark there, all right? So, because I used green, from the beginning, we made an extra platform stand. I don't know what these are called. Little paper that goes through that hole and it sits just like that. Okay, it'll sit right in here like this. And that will give our tree something to hang on to. All right. You can use glue or you can use your double stick tape. I'm going to use glue because I never can get it right the first time, so it gives me like a half a second. You can also use double stick tape as well because it adheres quicker. And there we go. See how I did that? Just sits in there just like that. If you guys can see through the bottom, just sits right in there like that. Okay. Now, to that little piece, we are going to add yet another one, only to make it stronger. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit wider, just like that, but it's going to double it up so that it stands a little bit straighter. Just a reinforcement. All right, and why I'm doing that is because this is pretty top heavy once you get done, right? That is going to sit on there just like that. Okay, I'm going to give it a second to adhere, and while I'm doing that, let's go back to this and our fences, because I did a little interesting thing with the fences on my card. These are the gorgeous fences, the little wrought iron with the little finials that are on the top. Fabulous. I was kind of going for the suburban look, right? So all I'm going to do with this one is cut those off. And then I have a nice white little fence. Now I could have taken these out as well, the decorative pieces, but it loses its rigidity, so I did not. So let's go ahead and do that, and this, and this, and this, and this one. Okay, this one is going to be my gate. So I'm just going to fold it back. You don't have to have a gate, but I'm having a gate. And on my gates, I'm just going to cut off this little tiny piece because it helps when you open it up, it doesn't drag. All right. So we have those, and we have our grass, and we have this. Let's go ahead and get this put together. And these pieces are just from that set I showed you a little earlier. Which is, what did I do with it? It is from our rectangles and labels, cross that, so it's these pieces right here. And I'm going to add a little bit of ink to here. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and use this glue. I have to be really careful with this to make sure I get it straight the first time, but I'm going to try it anyway, right? Okay, so you guys should be, at this point, you should have done all of your icing, I call it icing, outline, right? Okay. And then you have these pieces, which we've done for you. Yes, we did all the swirls on your little trees and stuff because they weren't included in the kit. So that's what we do. If it's not included, then we do them for you. Okay. You guys also need to, you should have cut out the happy holidays from the red piece and also cut it out of white, and then take the white letters and put it in the red inset. Okay? Super easy. Okay? I'm glad you said that, Carolyn. She said, when I first watched Karen Burniston class, I ran out and bought one. It was so simple to do. And it is. So when Karen and I first got together, it's just like, I figured I needed to start making the dies. We met in my store, because I had a store in Shawnee, Kansas, and I was so intimidated by her cards that I made Dolores Stone. All right, so I'm just going to put this here. So on mine, it had it on this side. Just switching it over, a little different, okay? I was so intimidated by the dies, I would make Dolores do them. Isn't that hilarious? And so I thought, okay, I really need to start learning how to do these dies. And I would go watch her video and put it together, and then, oh my gosh, that is so easy. And then I thought, geez, I bet everybody else feels that way too, or a lot of people, because I mean, there are people that have followed Karen for many years, way before me, and they're very comfortable with them, but for your first time, it's just like, oh, okay. They're so simple. They're so simple. So I started doing videos because I wanted to let everybody know they're incredibly simple. Did you see what I just did there? This was crooked. Did you see that? It was like this. And if I'm going to spend this much time on a card this detailed, I want to make sure that my lines are straight. All right, that's the power of zip dry. That right there just saved my card from being wonky and my OCD going crazy. So this is a really cute card in itself right now, right? I mean, it's really super cute. But it's going to get so much better. Before we add anything else, we are going to put our little walkway. Okay. These are the little stones, and you can just attach them together and they make a walkway as long as you want it. I am going to bring some ink on these because stones don't ever look all uniform and stuff, right? And if you want it even a little further, to take it a little further, you can just take your ink pad, okay, and then just add to it. Okay, This is Distress ink, so it's still going to be a bit wet, so I'm just going to turn it over and mush it so that comes off so it's not on my hands. Alright, just going to put glue on here. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it right up to where my door is. Get it nice and straight. And glue it down. Whoop, not a lot on that one, so we're going to put a little bit under here. And then I'm going to do the same with my last piece. And I'm going to butt it right up against that. You see that? And try to get it in the middle as much as you can. You guys have the same pieces in your kit, okay? All right, so now we have a house with a walkway. I know, so fast. Let's go ahead and add our tree. This is very sturdy now, okay? I'm going to go ahead and add my tree. This right here. You ready? Set it up, and I have a little bit that got down underneath there, which I really do not want because I don't want to glue it to the base. So hang on just a second. Clean up all 7. So now we have 2 trees. The sparkle. All right, but we have the original 2 holes, right? We have these original 2 holes. Well, what covers holes better than leaves? So that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to do the same. I'm going to put a few dots, and I'm going to go a little leaf crazy here, just like I did there on the trees. That's going to cover that up. That's going to cover that up. Okay. This is going to, let's put that right there. And we use some green, don't we? There. That is going to get covered up. Look at that. People will never know they were there. I'm going to put just a tiny bit more glue here, and a tiny bit more there, and we will just add that and that. Isn't that so, it goes together so fast, it's incredible. Alrighty? Simple, huh? I'm telling you. So now while we're adding leaves, we're going to add some. I'm going to support this while I work on this, okay? I have to lay it down so that you guys can see, so I'm just going to hold this up and support it. And I'm just going to add falling leaves. Just 3 on that. Don't overdo it. And let's see. A yellow one. Okay. And on this side, we need to have just a few down in here. So we'll go 1, 2. Always use odd numbers. So instead of 2, you'd have 3. Instead of 4, you would have 5 or 3. And go yellow one. All right. And bring that up. And now we just have the base. Okay. Amber, it is really super simple. Really simple. All right, so now we're going to put the gate on. You can use grass behind it, or you don't have to. I'm gonna hold this up again when I lay this down and show you guys a bit. So the grass would go there if you would like. You can do that. And then you can just add your gate if you want. But I want it. On my original card, I used grass and the gate. Okay? On the original card. On this one, as you can see, if you look through there, you really can't see the grass through that gate, right? So I'm going to leave the grass off this one, and I am just going to put the gate, because it'll let you see the front just a bit better. Okay, so this one, I'm going to put the glue along the bottom here. And I just glued it on just like that. And see, this was my flap. And if you cut that bottom piece off, no one will ever know, okay? And it makes it a lot easier to move. Now, if you get any glue down in here, don't close your card yet. What paper weight are you using? We always use 80 pound. We try to use 80 pound. Sometimes we get lucky and it's a little thicker, or a little heavier, I mean. But for this, I'm using 80 pound almost everything. Now this next one, I'm going to sit just a bit over. Okay, and it's okay if it comes off this edge a bit. It's totally fine. If you wanted to have a big walkway, see? And when I glue this down, I'm just lining it up with my, whoopsie. I'm just lining it up with my walkway. If you don't want to do that, you can do this first and the walkway later. You can do that too. Okay, I'm just going to pat this down and get rid of the extra glue. Now in this set as well, you saw me use this wreath, okay? In the set, there's this little tiny wreath. If you leave the finials on, like say you want to do a Christmas card, and I'll show you in just a little bit, you can hang the wreaths on those little finials, okay? Like you can do little green wreaths and hang them on the finials that go, or you can do wreaths and put it right there on your card. Isn't that cool? She thought of everything in this set. So there is the fence in this house. Ta-da. And it just shuts, the gate shuts, and it opens. So see, if I would have put my grass behind there, you can't really see it. All right. What size card base are you using? This one is a 6x6. The one for your kit, I believe, was a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay. You just have to have the card as wide as this base, right, which is 4 1/4, and then you can go as far deep as you want. All right, so we have this now. All right, let's decorate. Oh, so I used the pumpkins. Can you guys see this? I used the pumpkins from the borders. I want to put those in front of my tree. And ta-da. I know, right? It just keeps getting better. It just cracks me up. If I took a picture of it from the front, really tight in, and it really looked like somebody's house. It was so much fun. Okay, these two little guys, I'm just going to sit back here. Okay? I'm just going to sit them back there. On the other side, I'm going to do something very special. Just wait. So, put some glue on here. I like to do, it's the details to me it's details to the cards that make them truly, truly fabulous, right? So this is there. Now I'm just going to throw some random leaves on the ground. All right, pick up what I have here. Let's do a light green. And I'm almost done, guys. And then we'll do the front, and the front is just ridiculously easy. And there we go. Put that back there, and a green one. Okay, so now we have our leaves done on there, right? So I'm going to use this base that I had before, and I'm just going to glue it here. This is just a little spot for people to write, hey, how you doing? How you been? Blah, 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 blah. Happy anniversary. You know, come rake my leaves, whatever you want to say to them. All right, have you seen my squirrel? You never know. So I'm just going to use this. And I use that because I want to make sure I get it nice and centered. Now, I did the woodland animals ahead of time. Oop, make sure it's nice and even. Okay, I challenge you to use this pop-up set and create a four-season card. Oh, like all together, like a book? Oh. Barbara. Oh, I think I have to write that down. Four-season card. I rarely have time to craft, which is really kind of sad, huh? But I rarely do. But okay, so I'm going to put my squirrel here. And I'm just going to glue his upper body underneath his feet. I'm not going to put a lot of glue on, but I'm going to do this little upper body and glue him down. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Because he can't just be setting on nothing. So we need to tuck in a couple leaves underneath where he's sitting. Just like that. And now you guys know that Karina does the drawings, right? While she is on vacation, like I mentioned. So it might be a day or two. There we go. And I'm going to put one in front of him. Just one of, there we go. Just like that. Cute, huh? And so I did this ahead of time. This little squirrel is a lot of fun because the face is so simple to do because the dies have the stencils in them. So all you have to do is take a black pen. Can you guys see that? Take a black pen, stick it through the die, and draw his face. Or you can use our new Faces stamp sets. It's adorable. Go check it out. It's for all of our little animals. There's little baby faces in this set. There's also right here a little acorn that was in this set. And I am just going to put one final little leaf there. And that finishes this card on the inside. Is this incredible? Right? I'll make sure all my glue is dry before I close it. We'll close it up. Okay, look at that. Oops. Okay, now, if you guys saw that, there was an oopsie. It's because this little piece right here caught on my house. All right, I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to bring some glue back in and make sure that is glued down really well. Okay. Easy, huh? All right, one little trick. I want to show you guys something really, 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 really super cute, and then we'll do the front, or super easy, and we'll do the front. See how this card's kind of hanging like that? All right, we want it to stand straight up. If it's sitting on somebody's desk, I don't want it to lean over, I want it to stand up. Well, the genius mind of Karen Burniston has come up with display helpers. I kid you not, all right? This is a little piece of the die. They've got them for 90-degree cards, like this, okay? And there's also, these two are for 180 degrees or just completely flat. These poke the holes. If this was to be flat, it would go right here and a paper clip slides right in. All right. These are for the edges. Now watch this. It doesn't get any easier than this. So we want to fold this in this way. We want to fold this in this way. And we want to fold this in this way. We're only going to do valley folds on this, okay? That's it. You don't need to work them back and forth, all right? This right here is going to attach right in this corner, right in the seam of my card, okay? It's these two pieces on the edge. 1, 2. I don't want to get glue on my card. It doesn't belong. So I'm going to tuck that right there. And I'm going to close my card. Okay? Now, while that dries, I'm going to set something on it. Cup of Cocoa. All right, then we're going to do the front. Let's get our front done. It is so very simple. I just used the card papers that were in that Harvest selection by Echo Park. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to edge this. All right. This is where my zip dry comes in really super handy. Look at it. I mean, isn't that gorgeous paper? Right there, and we will get that perfectly in the center. And then we're going to take this piece I'm going to put this in here. All right. Now, if you like watching these, okay, if you like watching these and you like the kits, Karen does classes every month, right? Sometimes we have the kits, sometimes we don't, but the stores join in, stores across the country join in, okay? And if you cannot get the kit on our website, you can always go to their website, and we list those stores on our website for you. Yes, you can get zip dry from our website, which is KarenBurniston.com. Okay, so that's as easy as that is, right? I mean, it's so simple. I am just going to take a gold leaf and put it up here. Anyway, Karen teaches classes, and they are magnificent. They come with the dies. You can buy them with or without the dies, but generally with. Has all of the papers, and then she teaches the class live. So, well, some of them are virtual and some of them are Zoom classes, but they are absolutely phenomenal, and we sell out every single month. Her cards are magnificent. Okay, so I'm going to bend this just a wee bit so it looks like it's kind of floating, right? It actually looks like it's just kind of bent. That was harsh. Okay, you can go under the current events to find out when the next ones are. Okay, she just had one, and this is from the Autumn Elements. I love this set. I love this set so much. It's incredible. Okay, so I want that to just kind of go there. And just like that. Ta-da! Okay. Now, all I'm going to do is first I'm going to make sure that I don't put the fronts of my card on the back. So I'm going to peek here. Yes, okay, this is the front. And I do them separately. I do this separately than putting it on here and building it for that very reason, okay? If you mess this up, wouldn't you just cringe if it was on here and you couldn't fix it? Yes, put this on. The display helpers is kind of like my crescendo, right? So this whole class, you guys are going to just crack up. It's so smart. So incredibly smart. We even have the paper clips on our website in different colors for you guys. It's amazing. So, put that down. I'm going to get it perfectly lined up and seal my edges. And even though with the zip dry, even though it lets you move it around, when it locks down in about 20 seconds, it is done. You will not ever get it off. You will destroy a card trying to get it off once it locks down. So, are you ready? Yes. Isn't that gorgeous? But wait, because we want it to stay up and not fall back. So you use your display helper. See where the little thing says lift? Yes. All you have to do is pop that out and your card will stay at that angle. Look at that. And so when you want to close it, can you guys see that? Little helper. If you want to close it, pop it in and it'll close right down. Is that a riot? But wait, there's more. Okay? So that is your pull out, lift up. And it'll stay up. Some people, when they get this card, they may not understand that they can use this little, they don't understand what the lift is for, right? No worries. She even made a stamp set, and I really hope, there it is. She even made a stamp set that comes with the display helpers. You do not even have to buy it separately. Okay? So you get your little display helpers, and this little set comes with it. All right? It tells you exactly how to work them. So all you do is you stamp it, lift the tab for display, and lower the tab to close the card. So we are going to lower the tab to close our card. This will tuck right in there, and we will lower our card. And with that, this is done, but wait, there's more, because I have a couple cards I wanted to show you guys. So on yours, when you do the front of yours, okay, this just goes on there and you wrap the bow and it ties. Really super easy, all right? And that is your card, okay? These sit in here. All of that white was just with the gel pen that you guys get, okay? Pretty easy, huh? Really, super simple, I'm telling you. All right, here's another example. Ready? Oh, it's a different house. Exactly. It's a platform, you guys. The house and fence pop-up is a platform. Think about all the different ways that you could use this platform, right? All the different ways. This is a separate house die that we have, right? Trees made from glitter. And this one, beautiful. Okay, and just a little more detail than what you have. All of these little guys can hang. I squished it, I'm sorry. Okay, look at that. All of these can just hang right there on those little fence posts. The little hearts can go on the tops of the trees. These are actually charms, and you can just cut the top of the charm off and add a heart, or leave it there and add the heart onto the charm circle. Isn't that amazing? Okay, folks, you have the kits for the month, and you have Tanya's take. Yeah. Alrighty, you guys, it has been fabulous being here with you today. I read every single one of the comments. I'm going to cut out a little bit early, so I will give you guys 2 minutes to continue to comment, because from the comments, all right, somebody is going to win the card that I just made, and somebody is going to win all of the dies that I used to make this card. actually that Karen used, because this isn't my idea. It's Karen's. But somebody's going to win it. So, thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you haven't got your tickets, I don't know if you can still get tickets, but if you haven't got your tickets, get your tickets for the drawings, and enjoy your Saturday. All right? It's kind of cloudy and icky here and cold, so I think I'm going to read comments and probably craft a little bit a day. So I appreciate you guys so much, more than you will ever know, more than you will ever know. And I really do. I sit down here in my studio, in my basement, and I really feel like you guys are all sitting there with me. And you guys mean the world to us, okay? So have a fabulous day, and be kind to each other, and I will see you soon. Take care, everyone.